Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more of the Thaumaturge. Now I've just been out putting out the rubbish for the bin men, and the full moon overhead was so large and bright it almost felt like magic could be real. Perfect thing then for this game. Now, get a carriage. I think it might help if I know where I'm going first. Let us see what this is on the floor. A ball card. Carnival ball at the public casino. Before midnight. The Polonaise Dorozanski. Waltz Frankiewicz. It's probably just like Frankiewicz or something. The quadrille. Rabzanski. The mazurka. Gajewski. After midnight. The cotillion. Popielek. The lancers. Sosniki. The polka frank. Maj. The white mazurka. Rakzek. Are these performers or are these the winners of... No, these are dance partners. Of course, it's a dance card. Wow, I've never seen one. I heard about them. Usually in 1950s sitcoms. And we got a point. Let's put that point to good use. Incidentally, Bukovac is now behind our hero on the main menu, instead of Upir. I think while I could rush to these, I'd like to try and get some of these. Lucky chance, 60% chance to slowing an enemy's action, as opposed to 50% chance of interrupting. Okay, so it's a higher chance. Mental defense. Makes you lose focus instead of taking damage. Yeah, we can try that. I suspect these will all be unlocked at various points in the story, and I may not be able to progress beyond them in their paths, actually, so that guides me in a way. Guides my development and restricts and limits it. Okay, interesting. We want to get that mind developed a bit more as well, so when we get another point it will go in there. Now let us just explore a little. Okay, we can't go down there. Please don't we just take the carriage? It's not. It's a little more than that. Well, we've got a whole city here. I don't know how much of it we're going to be permitted to okay, not very much apparently. We just got a straight invisible wall right here. It is the coach. Okay. Well, in that case, let's explore the area. See what we can discover. There might be something of interest. This is locked. We'll probably be allowed in there later. And actually, we just got an area map right here. Yeah, we might as well. All locked. Everything locked. A tram stop. A carriage. Another tram stop. They want us to... The Mermaid City. Yeah, they want us to take that. But there might be something else here now. We're probably going to be given free reign of the city at some point. Well, there's our invisible wall. Interesting, it's that way and not this way. Another... Wow! We're getting very heavy camera rotation there. There might be something. Let's just... I probably should go straight to the funeral, but I'm presuming the wagon will... So a horse and cart will take me there. No, it's more of a carriage, isn't it? It'll get me there when I need to go. Not locked. I mean, I'm not going to go in right now. Why not? Are we out of our coat? We are, aren't we? Stanislav's obituary. Stanislav Szulski, widely respected citizen, thaumaturge, philanthropist, not philanthropist, bizarrely, entrepreneur, father and husband, died suddenly on the 31st of August at the age of 64. A service for the repose of his soul will be held at St. Charles Borromeo Church on Saturday, the 7th of September at 11 o'clock. I wonder if they've checked which day of the week these dates were in the year 1905. It probably wouldn't be too hard to check, actually, because it's like 365 is a multiple of 7 plus 1 and a quarter, so you basically, the same date is one day of the week later every year, unless it's a leap year, in which case it's 2. So you can work that out going forwards and backwards, unless you're going to the really early times when they started fiddling with the calendar, adding in extra months and stuff. To which his daughter would like to invite all friends, all relatives, friends and acquaintances. I should probably be coming back here later, looking for all this. Because I imagine I will be sent here at some point. During the time of our gracious Tsar of all Russia's visit to Warsaw, it is necessary to enhance the sense of security. Therefore, I ordain that the number of patrols must be doubled. All station chiefs are required to comply with the order immediately. Illegible signature. We don't get to open things up and read them properly for ourselves. We just get the little sort of preview summary type script. So that is just all, yeah. Picture of the Tsar, presumably. Okay. The edge of the table looked like there was something interesting on it. Okay. Someone there is aching almost as much as me. Oh! It's this man again. I'm imagining... Wait. Aborisi Niedzik. Wait a minute, that name is familiar. People? I think we're supposed to know him. Vesna, I am not infallible. I was certain it was Luca who had the flaw, but it turned out to be his wife who lured Bukovac here. Her flaw was brought about by a family tragedy. Vesna killed her violent father, seeing no other way to save herself. It would seem these are getting updated. Now. I'm not sure what that accent under the A means. Povashki? We'll go with Povashki. If time is humankind's most valuable currency, those here are bankrupt. In marble mausoleums bedecked in bespoke sculptures with inscriptions composed by poets and a continuous supply of sumptuous wreaths, still they have nicks in their non-material accounts. Candles gutter out slowly, and sometimes someone throws fresh flowers as if in mockery. Flesh flowers would be something else. A bleak temple in honor of form without content. There used to be an idyllic garden here, established by Princess Shatarishka, with noble women dancing in Greek dresses. Now there is no laughter echoing among the ancient trees, only weeping. I have the impression that the story of Povashki is a metaphor for the history of Warsaw. What is new that we know of Rasputin? Well, we haven't read this one properly yet, I think. So Rasputin. I had only heard rumours about him. A preacher, a mystic who used to heal St. Petersburg's elites not long ago. I found him in a small village in Transcaucasia. They call him a mad monk, or even a quack and a fraud. To me, he is the last hope for a cure. It will not be an overstatement if I say he saved my life. Without his mysterious powers, I would have gone mad. I think that means I owe him. And yet I cannot help think how strange he is. I still can't crack this. Rasputin, on the pretext of some strange and disturbing visions, decided to accompany me on my trip to Warsaw. Let's read this one as well. Wanted list. 1002. Maria Burkova, 54 years old, residing in Warsaw, Old Praga, accused of complicity in stealing. 2,000 rubles worth of Dutch pomade. Accused in complicity... Blah. I'm just going to start that one again, okay? 1002. Maria Burkova, 54 years old, residing in Warsaw, Old Praga, accused of complicity in stealing 2,000 rubles worth of Dutch pomade. Wanted. Description: short in stature, black hair, small hazel eyes, 3 scars on the right leg. Warsaw, 3rd of August, 1905. 1003. Jefishchuk. Mezoriush, serving time in prison in Jelna Street, escaped from the hospital in Pokorna Street where he was treated on the 2nd of August, 1905. Description: tall in stature, frail, small round face, dark hair, small black eyes, small flat nose, 19 years old, and he was in prison at that age. 1004. Neudorf Isaac, 18 years old, son of Liebus, formerly residing in Minsk, Mazowiecki, on Luka Street, accused of stealing fowl, then fled in an unascertained direction. Minsk, Mazowiecki, 14th of August, 1905. So many crimes, so many punishments. Do the punishments fit the crimes? There's someone in a cell. We probably don't get to talk to him at least. That is locked. What do we do here then? You stay. You stay until they let you out, or worse. There's a lot of notes lying around on the floor. People have dropped or forgotten or abandoned. It gives a feeling of a very sort of dishevelled, run-down, overworked establishment. When recruiting for the gendarmerie, it is recommended to reject the following candidates immediately: persons related to rebels and troublemakers, Jews, thaumaturges. Any deviation from these instructions must be very well argued. Oh, are we going to end up working with the police? I have a feeling they might make some kind of special exception and force us to against our will. This looks like the kind of area we might visit a number of times in the future. For now, though, Victor's just sort of wandering a bit, feeling out of touch with the old city, refreshing his... Ooh, is it got dark? No, it hasn't. It just felt like it. Yeah. We're just... Okay. Here we go. Just checking if there's anything here. Probably shouldn't run over puddles. Ah, railway tracks. Looks like they're still building it. If any of you have seen the teen comedy Euro Trip from a great few years ago now, there is a scene in an Eastern European country where one of the tourists asks a local man, You know, what time is the train? Can we catch a train? Is there a train station? And the local man says, "Ah, yes, they are building it now." Okay, let's just take a quick look. This is catch a tram. Well, that's not what we're being instructed to do. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of fast travel between little areas like this. Okay, this is blocked up. We don't know what that is. Get a carriage. Oh, now we're being directed to this carriage instead of the one over there. I wonder, can we get a tram there as well? We can. So we're being directed to abuse all the fast travel facilities at the moment. The game just does not want us to stay here. And in all honesty, we came out of a train station. There's a tram stop there. That's locked as well. Yeah, we might as well just go straight to our destination now that we have established a better sense of location. So we are in southern Środomish, and we're heading to Powązki Cemetery, of course, where there is apparently a barber. Okay. The rush of civilization, success, and the accumulation of capital, marble angels smile mockingly, watching everything from behind the cemetery gate. Apparently we do want to go there. Oh, that's a bit of slow graphic loading, but we got in eventually. Well, there's no point going this way because it's a dead end and the map blatantly shows us that. Point of interest, a tram stop in the graveyard? Szulski family mausoleum, probably where we want to go. Do we fancy a bit of a walk outside first? It says point of interest. I'm going to presume we'll be able to come back here later. And I'll go pay my respects. There's no need to. That is, if I can get in. Two handsome cabs. Back to back. How very intriguing. Ah, excuse me, gentlemen. I'd just like to read this first.
Excuse me, may I? I need to get to a funeral.
He's a tempermancer. Don't let him through.
Tell them to get out of the way or force your way through. If I can do this without hurting them, get out of my way.
I'm asking you kindly, get out of my way before things get nasty.
Get that heretic with fire and sword.
I don't see a lot of swords, but oh well. Okay, he has a lot of focus. He has a lot less. So, upgrades. You know, we can whack that on there. All of these. Am I not allowed to put multiples on here? Apparently I can only put one. Do I need a... Oh, do they automatically go in the bottom slot? And then some others can go in the middle and top, perhaps. Okay. Selecting yourself or a salutor. You can preview both your and your salutor's skills. This will help you plan your attack. You can summon another salutor at any time. A green frame around the salutor's image means they are exceptionally effective in a fight with the given enemy. Read the description above the Thaumaturge to find out why they will be useful at this moment. So, how do we... Enemy reinforcements are on the way. What's this? Concussion? No. Old wound. Up here is suggested. Focus deprivation will be more effective against this enemy. Yes, it will. Okay, right. Quick attack. I mean, whereas against this enemy... Aha! Damage-based attacks will be more effective against this enemy. Got it. Okay. Interrupt. We can go for an interrupt. Oh, but we want to be old wound. No. Wait, I gain the suffering? That doesn't feel right somehow. Okay, we'll go for diversion. Focus deprivation, so reduces focus. Mine or his? Looks like his. Yes, torment him, up here. Let's... Makes every attack from the enemy deal the maximum... Oh, sure, okay. And then... we still have incoming damage. And quite a bit of it. Let's go for a sword attack. Now... really? Before his next turn? We do need to divert to this fellow soon, though. Concussion. Maybe a bit overkill at this point. But it works. And drastically reduces the incoming damage. Enemy reinforcements are on the way. Good to know. In the meantime, however, he has a lot of focus. Damage-based attacks. So got it. Right, okay. This will still be before his turn. Sure. We'll try that. Wow. Big hit. Let's try for a... oh, no, that'll do it. Didn't need to overthink that one. Okay, he's got a gun. Enemies can have a trait that makes them immune to your attacks. Traits are related to different dimensions, and they can be disabled. To disable an enemy's trait, attack them with a Thaumaturge that belongs to the same dimension as the trait. Note that if you don't have the required dimension force, you can take away all of the opponent's focus and launch a strong attack. So what do we know of him? Resistance trait. Reduces damage taken by 80%. Attack with up here to disable. That appears to be the heart icon. We're still using up here, so... quick light attack to try and disrupt, then we'll go for bloody penance, because why not? Oh, shoot the bugger! Well, he pulled a gun first. I mean, he must be a long time aiming. There we go. He has a lot of focus, so yeah, damage for so right. Okay. Third shot. We're on full health, but we won't be after he shoots. We shoot him 3 times while he aims. Okay, we're delaying him. That's great. Bloody hell. This feels a bit unfair, to be honest.
That was so enchanting. Spectacular. You with a scowl and a puffed out chest, and them dropping like flies in the blink of an eye? Collapsing on their own, becoming delirious? Extraordinary. Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Would you care to give me an interview?
Thank you, but I'm already late.
She sounds very American as well. Less American than the other one, though. Now, I wanted to read this. Parish announcements. Saturday, 7 a.m. Votive service in honor of Our Lady of the Rosary for the intention of the brothers and sisters of the Confraternity of the Holy Rosary. 9 a.m. Holy Mass, which will be followed by the recitation of the Litany of Loreto with a prayer for the conversion of sinners. And here, obituary notice. The late Franciszek Hilmantel went to be with the Lord following brief yet painful agony, having received the sacraments on the 18th of August 1905 at the age of 65. The bereaved family is also asking all relatives and friends to join them at the funeral service held at St. Anna's Church in Krakowski. Przydmieszki. On the 25th of August at 11 o'clock in the morning, followed by the transfer of the body to the family tomb at Powaszki Cemetery. Reading these things is granting us extra experience, so going to the police station early may have assisted us somewhat. Stanislav's obituary, we are familiar with this one. And I did say we wanted to get that point in mind. Yeah, these do seem to be blocked off. Are we going to get one of these at his funeral? That would be very soon. Very, very soon. They're all bottom again. Can we put... We don't seem to be able to put upgrades on these. And we haven't needed to use Bukovac yet. A different combat style to do with weakening our foes. Shouldn't run everywhere. It makes us look like a very impatient, irreverent, disrespectful person in this graveyard. Here lies Jan Śmielek, our dear friend. In 1891 he met his end. What he is now lies deep inside. What he was, never you mind. Charming. R.I.P. Maria Wisnowska, Polish stage artist. Born 23rd of December 1861, died 1st of July 1890. Very young. To my beloved daughter, a woeful mother. She died at, what, 29 years old? Wait. 28. Oof. That is young. I myself was 28 years old once. Not anymore. I'm not gonna go up there without good reason. Yeah, I think I don't need to use the perception skill as much at the moment. And I think I probably need to go up that way. Oh, blatantly. A fortune like that ending up in such delicate hands. Are they... Wait. Yeah, didn't she have a brother? Are they having a go about my sister? Slagging her off, saying she would be easy to rob or take advantage of. Excuse me, Mordecai Shajat.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Ah, he's Jewish.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Szulski took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Well, I could say, oh, he doesn't have a heart. I don't need to push for pride too much. Why are you so interested?
Why are you so interested in my father's cause of death?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
We may meet him again at some point. They say you have to cut off a Thaumaturge's head after they die. And that's why they cremated him? I don't know about that. What, to prevent it? These people here are very...
I knew you'd turn up.
superstitious,
I
which
wouldn't
is
miss this for the world.
appropriate for the setting.
Stasha loved you in his own way. You look well. Ligia said he found some quack healer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't recognize me, do you? But do you remember who taught you how to shoot starlings?
Uncle Voronian, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I probably wouldn't recognize myself anymore. Go look in on your sister. She's worried. We'll talk at home.
Sounds like we have unfinished
Sister?
business there.
Wiktor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but... For now, I don't have time to think things through calmly.
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but... what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this.
Oh dear.
It's getting late. And we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
By you two, I presume she means him and his dead father. I will say goodbye to my father.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
It seems we had two bad parents.
So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better. Definitely closer to the truth.
A tyrannical father and a neglectful mother? Disaster. Say goodbye sincerely. I think we should. But I'll also mention the dream we had.
The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong.
Actually, I
I've
think
come
he was
back with
warning
two
you.
saluters.
When he said you can't see it, he may have been alluding to Rasputin rather than the saluters. Let's at least say a respectful farewell. We don't want to be living with regrets and bitterness too
I'm
much.
sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now...
Now, it seems I must depart.
Farewell, Father.
Possibly even from the entire area.
Am I intruding?
He interrupted your moment of personal reflection. How long have you been intruding?
Have you been eavesdropping like that for long?
All my life. I came to pay my respects to the dead.
Comes
Stanislav
across
and
as
I
secret
were
police.
acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Wiktor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
The burns on his face may be of mysterious origin. We haven't made up our mind yet. I suspect we'll be forced to stay here a long time.
I haven't had time to think about it.
I understand. I hope you'll find some reason to stay here a little longer. Again, my condolences.
He sounds almost threatening. I
didn't
don't
catch your
believe I
name.
trust him.
My name's Kaniechkin. Ivan Kaniechkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had.
Uh-oh. What have we sensed from the man?
I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
Or are we being affected? What a fancy waistcoat, though. Josefina Szulska, nee Hohenlo. Nikodem Szulski. Yes, there is something. Oh, hello. Bouquet with a note. A few flowers gathered together in a note. You were closer to me than I could ever admit, and now you are gone. My heart is yearning. S. A note contains a few brief words of farewell. The simple words contain a sea of sadness and longing. The letter was written with a trembling heart that cannot come to terms with the loss. It seems that someone was greatly affected by my father's death. Yeah, probably myself, my sister, and more. Okay. Someone has left a note next to the simple wreath. We had our differences regarding methods, but we shared the same goal. We will carry on, and you rest in peace, brother. Your friends in Thaumaturge. Quite possibly from the man we just met. The note features condolences from friends in Thaumaturge. Apparently father must have kept in touch with other people in our profession. Someone has left an unusual note by the generic funeral wreath. Eat dirt, Szulski. And it wasn't us. In blunt terms, it expresses joy about Stanislav's death. The wreath was thrown carelessly, but some time and effort went into the words in the note. Several versions were written, all of which seemed insufficiently offensive to the author. In the end, he decided on the simple yet eloquent Wiktor Szulski. More people than I would have guessed came to say their farewells to father. It turns out that he had both friends who were clearly affected by his death, and enemies who found it exceptionally pleasing. Well, it seems father evoked extreme emotions in the people he had encountered during his life. I'm gonna hope... Oh, everyone's gone. It's darker now. We spent a really long time in the funeral, and that point of interest seems to have gone as well. I may have missed it. Is it a time of day thing? Ooh, look, nighttime. Do we get to come back at daytime? And maybe then the point of interest will have returned? Is it triggered by real time, or is it triggered by story events that we get our day and night transitions?
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska,
I'm
the
her
Warsaw
brother.
Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Again?
Hyena.
Thank you.
More like a jackal.
And you, sir?
Ask Lygia if you're to intervene. Don't cause problems to her. Chase the hyena away. Explain that you're Lygia's brother. Well,
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually spurring you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
I think I should.
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
I shouldn't waste your time and keep you waiting. I'd appreciate a little time alone, but I don't think there's much I can do in this area that will help. Well, it would appear we have arrived. And now that we are here, we have yet another point to spend. I will hold off, I think, for a little. Alright, well, if we're waiting here... Yeah, see, these paths are locked until I can progress more. So, action, reaction, inflicts damage, agony. The skill additionally casts the state on a random enemy. Casts suffering, some more suffering. We'll go with this then, as the upper branch of hearts seems to be the one we should pursue. Oh, cost 2, so they get more expensive from here on out. So we can reach these points quite easily after this, though. And I imagine these will be a cost of 3 up here.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. But trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Well, her hair's now rather more ruffled and
Make sure
dishevelled
Uncle
without
makes
the
it upstairs
veil.
sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
We are out of the rain.
Master
could be wet.
Wiktor, good
Ah, hello.
God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth, completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
I think perhaps you should make some for Ligia. It's been cold out there today in the rain and wet.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
I wonder if the lawyer could be the Jewish man I met at the funeral. Well, they seem to all be in here. Stairs up to the first floor, yes, because we are on the ground floor. We are not American, although there seem to be a lot of American characters in this game. The chrysanthemums will be in bloom soon. I think I'll buy... Look, summer's about to end, then it's fall, whatever that is, and winter all over again. That's a lot of guests. I fear apparently Wiktor Szulski is back home. Yes, he is, and be careful what you say about him. The portrait depicts father in his twilight years. The serious expression on his face, the proud posture and the grimoire in his hand, combined with the dark background and lack of embellishments, it all reflects the strictness and pragmatism he always had. Good old Stanislav. However, a faint red streak can be seen around his figure. Apparently artists are particularly sensitive in seeing things that usually escape the human eye. This one should receive double emolument for capturing the thaumaturgic aura. Emolument is not remuneration. Ah.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
You may rest in one at some point in the future, but not now. Oh, not upstairs. Okay, well, we'll just... That's in the next room. And while I'd like to go there... You know what, I shall. It's been a while. 365 dinner recipes for 5 zlotys by Lucina C. Capon or pullet with sausages. Clean and pluck the capon while warm. Burn off the remaining feathers and knots over the fire. Slice off the giblets to add them to the broth. Rinse, salt throughout, and roast on a spit while coating with butter. When finishing roasting, put a large spoonful of sausage butter inside. Sprinkle the top with breadcrumbs, douse in liquid butter, and fry in the pan. If you don't have sausages, a piece of butter with pepper will do. You can also put the sausage butter in the capon once it is on the platter. I thought a capon was a kind of sausage. We're proud capon lined. Aha, here we are.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stashio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Are we going to have to go?
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Wiktor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
I notice Uncle Voronin has the same gap between his moustache and beard. Now, Grażyna's liqueur recipe. We don't have to make it, do we? Quince liqueur with amber. Pour a pot of ripe, duly picked quince fruits into a 4-gallon demijohn and pour in a light cooled syrup with 6 pounds of sugar and 2 gallons of water. Add 10 pieces of amber, stir perfectly, and add half a gallon of your best spirit. Seal and place in a moderately warm place out of the sun for 10 days, stirring several times per day, shaking the demijohn. After 10 to 12 days, when the clumps have sunk and the liquid is completely clear, pour into bottles, cork tightly, and keep it in a cool, dry cellar. We're not going to have to actually... Oh, we might. This door presumably goes down to a cellar, where we see a beautiful painting, presumably of our mother dearest. Pinot Noir from Oregon. A bottle of red wine from the United States, hard to get. An inability to articulate brought on by great surprise clings to the bottle. It was difficult to mouth even a word of gratitude for the unique gift. Words got stuck in the throat, despite the adoration for this particular liqueur. Liquor. It is a favourite beverage, but an unwelcome gift. Trace certain Ligia, so she didn't want the present. A portrait of mother from her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress and a silk scarf thrown over her exposed shoulders. Her long, dark hair flows down her back, and she glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and a frivolous hairstyle. That's not how I remember her. Nadia as a young, unkempt maiden. It's hard to believe. This shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era, a time when hearts were stirred with violent emotions, poems were created to the sound of a storm, love stories had to end tragically, etc., etc. Father actually commissioned such a painting? Perhaps the painting was crafted before they met, and it is what drew him to her. Sauvignon de Bordeaux. A bottle of white wine from southern France, an expensive beverage popular among the aristocracy. The wine carries the aroma of peaches, apples, and a certain amount of conviction that a relationship between two people is beginning to take on a romantic edge. A beverage enjoyed by the upper crust, given to a man by a woman. Trace familiar, mysterious woman. Quince liqueur with amber. A small bottle of course it's Voronin. A small bottle of quince liqueur with amber. A beverage of true connoisseurs. A beverage for true connoisseurs. The bottle exudes the sweet aroma of quince and the sincere joy of an upcoming meeting. It is a beverage that brings people together and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life. An element of a ritual that two old friends would eagerly indulge in. Every bottle found in the Szulski's cellar contains a creditable beverage. Uncle Voronin wouldn't disregard any of them, but we know what he wants. And we have gained the bottle indeed. Let's pop back. Wait. Really? No. Just dust. Okay.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
He wanted the liqueur. I'm not going to give him one of the others.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
Not yet.
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
I thought he'd share. You know what? I don't promise to do this every time, but let's honor tradition. To an easy death.
I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? Stasha?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasha and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
We probably should. Who is this Hayat I met?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
I mean, there's... no, give me a moment.
You'll all have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
Oh, not long, I assure you. Have some liqueur. I think I've had enough. Don't want to overindulge. Who do you think is dead? Me? A bust of Morana. The stern countenance resembles that of a human, but the callous gaze shows no trace of human emotions. The Queen of Winter scrutinizes you, sending a shiver down your spine. It makes me think of the words, if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. And looking at that shape, there, on the mind branch, Morana, the cold, hard intellect, presumably. We're getting so many entries. The bold girl that approached me during the Tsar's speech introduced herself as Vonda. She was sneaking bullets in the nooks and crannies of her undergarments, and not for the first time. Intriguing. I helped Vonda get out of the kettle. On parting, she mentioned I could find her at Berek Rotblitz's. I will have to pop in there someday, as Vonda raved about their donuts. No, she just did that to make me remember the place so that we could meet up. And now we can go to the reading of the will. No, he won't. I'll just have to walk up there and presumably he will appear. I'm not going to get completely rat-assed and have a load of drinks. Wiktor looks like he can handle a fair few drinks. We don't know how many. Hello? We could just walk outside into the garden. You know what? Perhaps there may be something... Child, what are you doing here? Why such merriment at a time of mourning? Well, back inside we go. I do like the light from the table there. The table that is nowhere inside here. Was it this table? No. Well, up the stairs we go. Bust of Sirin. Sharp avian features bear a wild, disturbing kind of beauty. They make you want to fall into her clutches and be lulled into an eternal dream by her sweet song. Oh, like a siren. Yet her cryptic, slight smile makes a subconscious, primal part of your being cower away from the predator. But isn't a soul the only fair price for the bliss of giving yourself up to that enchanting creature? Well, we just open it. Wait. If you want to change your clothes, use the wardrobe. You can expand your clothes collection by visiting the tailor. We have glitz is not enough. Okay, so we don't have a stat called glitz, but we actually need... a silk vest and velvet foulard can express certain things that are not appropriately said out loud, such as the owner's checkbook size or the fact that their bills are paid by their sister. Proud arabesques. Ooh. Liking the waistcoat for a funeral. The tie's a bit much, though. Threadbare vanity, the linen trousers with a versatile style that has seen better days. Discreet magic of wealth. Kashmiri sheep's wool without the undercoat, blended with cotton and silk, made to measure and hand-washed but never by the garment's owner. This is the true definition of wealth. We have very fancy trousers. And as for coat, we have the weaves of arrogance, guilt of luxury. So we can really dress up fancy. I think we should remain humble overall. Straight backs, stern expressions, noses in the air. Two boys that are just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. Yes, I appear to have aged rather more than he. These appear to be on the other side of the wall. Let us head out of this chamber. This is clearly our own resting place for now. And we close the door, obviously. Oh, all the doors can be open. Looks like we're going in this one. A message from Mother. Dear child, stop. Oh no, it's a telegram. Dear child, stop. It is with great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislav's death. Stop. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. Stop. My duties in Paris keep me from travelling to Warsaw at this time. Stop. I join you in mourning and sorrow. Stop. Mama, stop. Stop stopping. Stop. Yeah, that was a Groucho Marx quote. Okay. My letter from Rome. July 1896. Dear sister, I am writing to you because sleep eludes me. As I wrote before, I have found a suitable candidate. However, I am still struggling to reach his floor. I feel that Paimon is within my reach. I even saw him. Vaguely, but I did. I will stop here because my nerves prevent me from continuing. W. P.S. Yes, I will be careful. Don't think me a fool like father. You were not careful, and you were a fool. That pride got you into trouble. The Polish Gazette, Evening Edition. Obituaries. At the cemetery in Montmorency on Sunday, the body of the distinguished writer and citizen, the late Severina Duchinska, was laid to rest. A handful of compatriots escorted the coffin amidst the pouring rain. The funeral service was very modest. In accordance with the wishes of the deceased, the sums allocated for wreaths were deposited in the coffers of the Claudia Potocka Charitable Society. The late Antony Przelinsky retired, aged 91. The late Barbara Czekala, aged 45. The late Stanislav Szulski, entrepreneur, aged 63. Warsaw Funeral Company, M. Tijka. The company arranges funerals, exhumations, and transportation of corpses. A factory warehouse of metal and wooden coffins, mourning hats, crepe paper, and a vast selection of items used in the time of mourning. Is this the same letter? No. Different. My letter from Paris. November 1896. Sister of mine, I feel well enough to write something to you. The doctor also recommended I do so. I am not alone in my anguish. I share a room with one Rayford Morton, whose last name escapes me. They brought him from London, from Dr. Seward's clinic. Oh shit, Dr. Seward is the doctor in Dracula. A very interesting case. He spends his days hunting for the moths, cockroaches, ladybugs, and beetles that come here sometimes. He eats them. He says it gives him strength to wait for the coming of the Lord, but I don't think he means the Saviour. I cannot yet reconstruct all the details after the debacle with Paimon. My mind is still in tatters. Paimon visited me no more than a week ago. I know that's impossible. It probably happened only in my mind, but it was so clear. He, as the king of hell, with his host of demons, with the shadows of his penitents, called for me to join them. It was so real. I'll stop here. I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. W. Oh, Victor, what follies have you committed? Yes, let's completely ignore the will reading in the nearby room and just walk into here in the toilet instead. Pseudo-Monarchia Demonium. Compared to Crowley's Ars Goetia, there are three fewer demons. No evidence that all demons are salutors. Baphim, a false lead. Pucelle, a false lead. Anton claims to have subjugated Orobas, mere boasting. Marcosius, expected to take the form of a wolf with the wings of a griffin and the tail of a snake. According to Duplancy, he takes the form of a wild lioness. Interesting observation by Crowley. Demons are unexplored fragments of our minds. However, in appearance it resembles an ox with wings. A lead for Sabnok. Unknown. It seems Victor's father was interested in trying to track down multiple demons. Well, here we are.
I am ready, Mr. Szulski. I only need all of you to be present. Can we start reading your father's will?
Absolutely, if the others will be here.
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
On Earth,
Let's
as it is
begin
in
if
heaven.
everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty,
Oh, is it all
the
being
Emperor
confiscated by
of
the crown?
Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaclav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the
17
name
years.
of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
No, we don't be impatient. We might be getting nothing. Let's listen to it all. There may be something important.
Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Wiktor Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Congratulate them both and say you'll wait in the kitchen. Wait for the end of the ceremony. Ask if your mother is getting anything. Just listen. Don't be greedy. She abandoned him many years ago. He might not even think to leave her anything.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Wiktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting
Ah,
it.
like our vision.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then,
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
And was his book with him?
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Or lying in wait.
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far
Of
from
course.
the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
Even he didn't deserve this.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
And now we're presumably going to go
Those might
chasing
be
a
the
book.
kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined the Niedzicas, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Abauritze, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
What about this Mordechai Hayat?
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do
Yes,
you know
it's
where I
hers
might
now.
find him?
Sadly, no.
She
Do you
runs a
have
shop.
any other ideas?
Well, look, I'll look through my father's things and see if there's anything that might help.
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
Right.
As you wish.
Well, the ruined building is a good place to check as well.
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
It's the only one I have left. Well, I think I've explored all options now.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
And on that very topic, my not quite so old bones could probably do with a rest
Goodbye,
as well.
Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Sounds oddly serious there. Well, we should probably search this place. But that, I think, can definitely happen in the next episode. For now, I'd like to go get some sleep. I've got things to do. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I will say goodbye for now, though. See you all soon. Cheerio, everyone.